Behind the scenes of 2 Kings 4:3-6, something deeper was happening. This woman was not just borrowing jars. She was building capacity for a miracle. Every knock on a neighbor's door was an act of faith. Heaven was watching her obedience. Angels were moving. Provision was being released. The size of her miracle was being determined by how many empty vessels she gathered. God often moves based on preparation. Empty jars meant empty space for God to fill. What looked small physically was huge spiritually. Then the prophet told her to shut the door. This was not just privacy. This was separation. She shut out doubt. She shut out noise. She shut out unbelief. Behind the scenes, God was creating an atmosphere of faith. Miracles often happen in private before they appear in public. The closed door became the birthplace of overflow. Now she begins to pour. She only had one small jar of oil. But as she poured, heaven multiplied. The oil kept flowing, jar after jar, vessel after vessel. What she had in her hand became unlimited in God's hands. Behind the scenes, the supernatural was meeting the natural. Her obedience triggered divine multiplication. God kept pouring as long as she kept bringing vessels. Then something powerful happened. She asked for another jar, and there were no more. And the oil stopped, not because God ran out, but because she ran out of capacity. This reveals a spiritual truth. God will fill every space you make for Him. He moves until you stop preparing. The vessels represent capacity. The oil represents God's provision, His Spirit, His power. The closed door represents focused faith. The pouring represents obedience in action. Your part is to gather vessels. Your part is to shut the door. Your part is to pour what you have. God's part is to multiply. God's part is to provide. God's part is to overflow. Behind the scenes, God is waiting for your obedience. He's waiting for you to prepare. He's waiting for you to make room. The miracle is not in what you have. The miracle is in what you do with what you have. If she had gathered more vessels, there would have been more oil. God is still saying today, "Bring me empty vessels, and I will fill them."